Here we have a new 2024 GMC Terrain in the SLE trim level. Now this Terrain comes in one of my favorite colors, this riptide metallic, and then we have jet black cloth interior. Now for the powertrain, we get a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. That's the only option that you can get as of now, and then that's made it to a 9-speed automatic transmission. It carries over for the most part from 2023. Coming around this front end here, we get this beautiful front fascia, LED headlamps along with LED daytime running lights. And I mean, everything about the Terrain just makes it, this riptide metallic just makes it look, everything look 10 times better in my opinion. Just from the styling to the headlamps, even the wheels here. We get these 17-inch aluminum wheels. And what's great is, even though this color is a $500 option, I think it's worth every penny because it just makes this look that much more premium. We get passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. Power door lock controls are here. And then we have one-touch automatic up and down for the driver's side window, and then express down for the other 3 windows. Rear window lock there, and then we also have our power mirror controls right here. Bottle holder there. Headlamp controls, you can toggle your auto mode on or off just by hitting that. Electronic parking brake, press to engage, hit the brake, press it again to disengage. Hood release. We have the all-weather floor liners here, so we'll get that throughout the vehicle. And then the release for the manual tilt and telescoping steering wheel, just pull down there and adjust. And here's our power driver seat with 2-way power lumbar support. And I'm going to show you all of the options and whatnot here momentarily. But first, a huge shout out to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Terrain today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But we're just gonna go over this sticker very quickly and just pause anywhere you need to if you want to get a closer look at anything. And then the options over here, I love how this thing is spec'd out. The driver convenience package, which includes the remote start, the heated seats, the power driver seat, and then the dual zone automatic climate controls. And again, that floor liner package and that riptide metallic. And then we're at $32,315 for the sticker price. I am surprised by the fuel economy. It's a little lower than the Equinox, but it might have something to do with the 9-speed that's in here as opposed to the Equinox having the 6-speed. Let's go ahead and hop in here. So I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So sitting behind myself, decent leg room, headroom without having a roof or anything. I still have about a couple inches of space up there. And then we do have the seat back pocket only on the front passenger seat. But I love that we get these rear AC vents, 2 USB-A ports there. And there's a view of the front from back here. And we can fold this seat down. Bottle holder is right in the middle. And grab handle. We could probably hang one plastic hanger hook or a couple metal hanger hooks on that holder there. And then if you ever want to activate your child locks, you can turn them on or off there. Fuel filler there. Now you can't lock this for those that are worried about people siphoning their gas, but I don't see that being an issue specifically around here, but I don't want to jinx anybody. To the back end, we do get the LED signature tail lamps, which look great, nice and bright when you hit the brakes. And again, with the all-weather floor liners, covers the back of your seat and then your cargo space here. And then you can have a 12-volt here, and you can fold down the seats, as you can see there. Now underneath this mat, a little storage area. And then a quick look underneath the vehicle. Here's the exhaust outlet. Now again, I like with the driver convenience package, all that you get, because we do get the side rails here if you want to add some crossbars, put a roof rack on, something like that. Now, you can fold this back up. You just got to give it a little oomph when you get near the locking point. And then again, you can either do it from the back or release right here. And I'm gonna release it again because I'm gonna show you all how we can fold this front seat flat for maximum cargo space length. Just pull up there, or not there, but here. That'll fold flat. You can see we have all that space to run an object. And then you just gotta lock it back into place by pulling up there. And I do like that you can actually pump the seat up or down on the front passenger side and then adjust the seat bottom there. And plenty of little storage nooks, which I like. Glove compartment space is pretty good. We have a little area up there if you want to hold a smaller phone or change or something. And then other areas throughout. But as we come back around to the front here, we're just gonna pop the hood, look in the engine bay. And there's that 1.5 liter turbo 4. Now let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So we get the vinyl wrap steering wheel here. There's the horn. Over here to the standard screen, we get this 7-inch audio system, but this does include AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth audio, and then we also get wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto compatibility, which is always nice, especially on the more basic systems. Wi-Fi hotspot, all of your settings are in here. If you want to change your language, phones, you can add that. It walks you through it pretty much. And then we do have a rear seat reminder as well as teen driver with our other vehicle settings. And I like that we have a shortcut for Bluetooth. Audio can be adjusted here. Click that to mute, hold it to power down. And then you can actually use this to kind of seek through your radio stations. Then auto stop toggle there, hazards, backup camera, guidelines file, you usually turn the steering wheel. Not the best picture, but gets the job done. And then we're gonna toggle the guidelines there. Now for the dual zone automatic climate controls, again, we get that as part of the driver convenience package. We can sync and then we can unsync by adjusting that temperature there, adjust fan speed here, and then auto mode, you can turn that on and adjust the fan speed again to get that off. And then we can choose what direction we want the airflow to come from. And then we have our defrosters on the side here. So you can turn that on or off by hitting the button and then adjust the speed by turning the knob itself. Now for the shifter, press P for park, pull there for reverse, press N for neutral, pull up here for drive, and then low gear, or your limiter, excuse me, can be adjusted right here, and you can manually shift that if you want to. Then the USB-C, USB-A aux input, 12 volts, additional storage, bottle holders, and then we do get 3-stage heated front seats along with our drive modes, which can be adjusted here. So basically you just have your tour mode and then your snow mode there. And then we have the downhill brake control or hill descent, and then the lane keep assist with lane departure there. Center console cubby space, we can lift this out. We have a nice bright LED light there. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. Sunglasses holder, OnStar, and there are the lights there. Back to the steering wheel, blinkers here. And then auto high beams are there, we can toggle that. And then we can also, when the lights are on, toggle those high beams and flash here. Windshield wiper controls are on the right stalk. So one time, off, intermittent, low, high. We can adjust the intermittent here. And then the rear wiper can be adjusted there. Push back for the rear wiper fluid, pull up for the front wiper fluid. Now behind the steering wheel, we do have buttons. So we can go through our radio station presets or track list here. And then we can adjust our volume up or down there. Standard cruise control that can be turned on there. And it'll show you in the gauge cluster when it's on. And we can cancel, adjust speed, and then adjust the gap for the forward collision alert right there. So 3 different settings for that. And then mute button, voice recognition. And these 4 arrows are used to go through the digital part of your gauge cluster. So with this one, it's pretty simple. I like how everything is set up. We just have this one little info menu that we can scroll through, shows fuel economy and tire pressure monitors. And then you can adjust in the options your traction control, stability control, And then we can also go through our units if you want to adjust those from US to metric there. And then info pages can also be edited to turn certain things on or off. So there you have it. Push button starts here. And here's the key fob with remote start. Next, let's take this 2024 Terrain SLE out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this 24 Terrain, I find it very interesting that the 6-speed automatic, I mean, we're supposed to have the same engine in the Equinox as well as this Terrain, the 1.5 liter turbo 4. I'm surprised that the Equinox has the 6-speed and this Terrain has the 9-speed, but this gets EPA estimated fuel economy 2 miles per gallon less. So I'm gonna test that theory when we get on the interstate. Now with the 9-speed, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because the transmission shifts more, but the engine feels less strained in this setup as opposed to the 6-speed transmission in the Equinox. But we're gonna put it into the limiter and then we're gonna test out the shifts here. So it does serve as more of a limiter for the most part as opposed to just like a manual shift mode. But let's see if we can get the cruise going here. Just to show the fuel economy. So it's showing pretty good economy. We're getting about 30 miles per gallon and we're on a slight incline. And we're gonna lower the speed just a little bit. And as we start to settle out here, I mean, this fuel economy is pretty impressive. It actually seems to be reading better than the Equinox did. So again, I'm confused about that fuel economy number being lower on this than the Equinox. But ride quality is very good. Not overly smooth, but again, it's a good ride quality, so I'm able to feel the road just enough. Just probably for me, I think an 8.5 to 9 out of 10 because of just how solid everything feels. Just makes a lot of sense, these driving dynamics do. Now for the money, this can be a bit expensive depending on how you look at it. I mean, you do get with this convenience package, the heated seats, which I think are very impressive. Having the dual zone automatic climate controls, very nice. But also just standard without anything, just with a base trim on the SLE without having any options. You get the wireless CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility, and then just having your XM radio as well. I'm pretty impressed by that. And then the standard push button start, of course, with the Chevy safety assist, we have the lane keeping system, the forward collision alert, the auto high beams, and it pretty much helps us stay competitive with the RAV4, the Honda CR-V, even the Hyundai Tucson. And I think at this price point in particular, in this trim level, let me put it this way, it shines in several different areas, whereas if you were to get a Denali for 40 plus, you might not feel like you want to pay for that when you could get a RAV4 Limited or whatever the highest trim level is there for around the same money. And I think GM's always, when it comes to technology, they've had nicer looking interiors, great standard features, and then options are where you can really run up the cost of a vehicle. But I think, again, this is a good option if you're in this segment. It's kind of based on preference too. I'd rather have the 1.5 turbo as opposed to the naturally aspirated 2.5s that you can find in the Tucsons or the RAV4s. From a reliability standpoint though, you can find some of these with miles on them, but it's still, they're young. It's not like a long track record with these. But I mean, checks all the boxes in my opinion, again, for the segment. So this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 GMC Terrain SLE.